Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer, a 32-year-old marketing executive with a passion for fitness and wellness. I even run a blog called Strength Within, where I share tips and personal experiences to inspire others. 2 years ago, I married Thomas, thinking I found my soulmate. He supported my healthy lifestyle completely. We'd go on morning runs, meal prep on Sundays, and even brainstorm content for my blog. It felt perfect, until we moved closer to his mother, Lisa. Lisa lived in a gated community, claiming her health required proximity to family. At first, I was hopeful about the move, but her influence quickly turned my perfect marriage into a nightmare. Jennifer, darling, she'd coo at family dinners, "You simply must try my pot roast. Though perhaps a smaller portion for you." She'd say this while setting down a food scale to measure my plate. Everyone else was served normally. "Mom, stop. This is embarrassing," Thomas would protest weakly, but he'd cave as soon as Lisa replied, "I'm just trying to help, dear." She always managed to slip in comments like Susan, Thomas's first wife, understood the importance of portion control. Such a lovely figure she kept. Her best friend Karen would nod knowingly. "Oh yes, Susan was always so conscious of her appearance," she'd add, dismissing my accomplishments as a former state swimming champion. It wasn't just the dinners. Lisa's scrutiny seeped into every corner of my life. One evening, I overheard her on the phone. "I'm really concerned about Jennifer's relationship with food. Thomas never had these issues with Susan." When I confronted Thomas, he shrugged, saying, "She only wants what's best for the family." The turning point came when Lisa started showing up uninvited. One day, as I prepared for a major client presentation, she breezed into my office. "Working such long hours, no wonder Thomas eats alone so often. You know Huggy loves a home-cooked meal, just like Susan used to make." Her jabs grew bolder. "Is that outfit really appropriate for someone in your position?" she said, eyeing my professional attire. "The hemline is rather ambitious." It wasn't just verbal barbs. I started noticing strange things happening at work, emails disappearing, meetings mysteriously rescheduled. My assistant eventually let it slip. "Some woman keeps calling HR, claiming to be your mother-in-law. She's concerned about your mental health." The final straw came at home. My gym equipment was tampered with, the weights dangerously loose. I could have been seriously injured. Lisa's reaction: "Oh dear, why not speak to my friend, Dr. Roberts? Just a friendly chat. Thomas agrees it would be best." When I met Dr. Roberts, the trap became clear. "Your mother-in-law tells me you've been struggling with body image and aggressive tendencies," he said. That's when I knew I had to take action. I started documenting everything. Voice recordings of Lisa's helpful comments, photos of tampered equipment, screenshots of my canceled appointments. Then Ashley, the daughter of one of Lisa's friends, approached me at the gym. "Mom told me not to say anything," she whispered, "but I overheard Lisa on the phone with your HR department. She said you might need medical leave, for your own good." Lisa had weaponized her social circle, country club gossips, charity committee members, even the neighborhood watch, to spread the narrative of the unstable daughter-in-law. "I just don't know what to do about Jennifer," I overheard her telling the garden club. "She's becoming paranoid, imagining I'm sabotaging her." Susan went through a similar phase before her unfortunate departure. My phone buzzed with a text from Thomas. "Mom thinks we should have dinner with Dr. Roberts tomorrow. She's worried about you." I stared at my reflection in the office window, recalling the strong, confident woman I used to be, a competitive swimmer who never backed down from a challenge. Lisa wanted to break me just like she broke Susan. But she had no idea who she was dealing with. I opened my laptop and started a new document, evidence of harassment and manipulation. Game on, Lisa, game on. I needed answers. Susan was the key. We met at a coffee shop 2 towns over, safely away from Lisa's network of spies. Her hands trembled as she stirred her coffee. "It's not just about control," she whispered, glancing around nervously. "It's about money and power. Lisa keeps her sons trapped through their businesses. She secretly owns majority shares. If they disobey, she threatens to pull funding. That's why Thomas has been so distant. She did the same to my Thomas." Then came the bombshell. Susan leaned in, her voice dropping further. "There are cameras everywhere. The bedroom, kitchen, even the bathroom." When I confronted Thomas, he called me paranoid. That's when I knew I had to leave. My skin crawled. I thought about the odd devices I'd noticed at home, in air vents behind picture frames. Lisa's reach extended further than I imagined. Later that night, Sandra called me in a hushed tone. I found something in David's office, documents from Lisa's foundation. She's been laundering money through fake charity events. There's proof of tax evasion, too. The pieces started falling into place. Lisa wasn't just a controlling mother-in-law. She was running an empire of manipulation. David, Sandra's husband, finally opened up during a secret meeting. She had our father's will change on his deathbed, he revealed bitterly. Convinced him we couldn't handle the inheritance. The guilt killed him. Then I learned the truth about Dr. Roberts. I overheard him on the phone while picking up takeout. Yes, cousin Lisa, don't worry. I'll adjust my report accordingly. Jennifer seems unstable. That was the final straw. I began reaching out to others Lisa had hurt. Former daughters-in-law, ex-business partners, and old friends. Each had a story of betrayal and control. Then came Karen's breakdown. She showed up at my office, mascara running. I can't do this anymore, she sobbed. Lisa never had health issues. She faked cancer 3 times to keep her sons close. She's a monster, and I have proof. Medical records she forged. The full scope of her schemes became clear. Sabotage contracts, blackmail through her charity's donor list, and even fake auctions to launder money. Every tactic was designed to isolate, destabilize, and dominate. I compiled everything: financial records, recordings, photos, and statements. Lisa thought she was weaving a web to trap me. Instead, she handed me the threads to unravel her empire. At our last dinner, she sneered, "You're just like Susan, unstable, paranoid, delusional." "No, Lisa," I replied, meeting her gaze. "I'm nothing like Susan. I don't run. I fight back." The annual charity gala was Lisa's crowning achievement, a glittering event where the who's who gathered to fawn over her supposed generosity. It was also the perfect stage for her downfall. "Such a lovely evening," Lisa beamed from the podium. "Thanks to your generous donations, our foundation continues to help those in need." The federal agents walked in right on cue. "What's the meaning of this?" Lisa demanded, her voice cracking as they approached. Sandra stood up, her voice ringing through the room. "The meaning? Check your phones, everyone. You'll find proof of how Lisa has been stealing from her own charity for years, funneling donations into her mansion renovations and designer wardrobe." Gasps rippled through the ballroom as hundreds of phones pinged with notifications. Lisa's carefully curated facade shattered in real time. "She's lying," Lisa shrieked. "Thomas, David, tell them." But David stepped forward, his voice firm. "It's over, Mom. I've already transferred control of the family businesses. You're out." Thomas stood frozen, pale and shaking as the truth sunk in. "The cameras, the contracts, everything she said. It's all true." "Thomas," I said calmly, locking eyes with him, "you'll be served with divorce papers tomorrow. I'd wish you good luck, but honestly, I don't care anymore." Karen stepped forward, holding a folder of documents. "I have copies of every forged medical record, Lisa. Your fake cancer claims? The hospital foundation's board will be very interested in these." Dr. Roberts tried slipping out unnoticed, but representatives from the medical board intercepted him at the exit. "Your license is suspended," one of them said, "pending an investigation into ethics violations and false reporting." Lisa, the once imposing matriarch, crumbled before everyone's eyes. Her designer dress suddenly looked cheap, her perfectly applied makeup garish under the harsh light of exposure. 6 months later, I stood in the middle of my newly opened wellness center, dedicated to helping survivors of family abuse rebuild their lives. In the background, the news played. Socialite Lisa faces federal charges for tax evasion and charity fraud. Her estate has been seized, and sources report she's now living in a modest apartment outside town. I smiled faintly and turned back to the group at our first retreat. My life had grown so much bigger than the wreckage Lisa left behind. David and Sandra occasionally check in. They're doing well, running the family business ethically. Susan joined my foundation, using her story to help others navigate and recover from manipulation and control. And Thomas? Last I heard, he's in therapy, real therapy this time, not his mother's cousin posing as a doctor. Good for him. Too little, too late. A few days ago, a letter arrived, Lisa's handwriting scrawled on the envelope. It was some long-winded apology, a product of her generation. wanting the best for her family, being truly sorry. I didn't bother reading it. I marked it returned to sender and went back to planning the center's expansion. Yesterday, I ran into Karen at the supermarket. Lisa tried joining the senior center's bridge club, she said, smirking. Nobody would play with her. She just sat there alone until she left. I shrugged and pushed my cart forward. My life's too full to care about revenge now. Today, a package arrived. Security footage from the hidden cameras Lisa installed in my old home. I added it to the thick file labeled close, locked it away in a cabinet, and walked out of the office. Some people keep photo albums from their marriages. I collected evidence. But that chapter of my life is over. If you were in my shoes when Thomas repeatedly chose his mother's side, would you have given him a second chance, knowing he was also a victim of Lisa's manipulation? Or was I right to walk away completely? The hardest part of leaving a toxic relationship isn't just walking out, it's staying gone. Share your thoughts in the comments below.